All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Kumar. The headlines. BRICS declaration reaffirms the principles of democracy and inclusiveness, agrees to fight unilateralism and protectionism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds bilateral talks with leaders of China, South Africa, Argentina and Angola on sidelines of the BRICS summit. Centre asks CBI to investigate UK-based firm Cambridge Analytica for illegally obtaining data of Indians. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal reviews law and order situation ahead of the publication of National Register of Citizens draft on Monday. UK court rejects Vijay Mallya's attempt to appeal against verdict favouring Indian Bank to recover their funds. And Imran Khan claims victory in Pakistan general elections. Official results yet to be announced. The BRICS summit in its Johannesburg declaration has reaffirmed the principles of democracy and inclusiveness, implementation of the UN Charter and respect for rule of law. Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa at their second day of three-day summit in South Africa yesterday also agreed to fight unilateralism and protectionism. Leaders of the BRICS bloc of emerging economies reaffirmed the centrality of the rules-based, transparent, non-discriminatory, open and inclusive multilateral trading system as embodied in the World Trade Organization. The declaration has called for definite stand on corruption and extradition of economic offenders and fugitives and their asset recovery. Declaration also called for fighting international terrorism and early implementation of the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 10th BRICS summit. He said that the fourth industrial revolution presents both opportunities and challenges for the BRICS nations. Mr. Modi said that there is need to focus on skill development and vocational training to reap the benefits of fourth industrial revolution.
फोर्थ इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन में पूंजी से ज्यादा महत्व प्रतिभा का होगा। हाई स्किल परंतु अस्थायी वर्क रोजगार का नया चेहरा होगा। इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन, डिजाइन और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में मौलिक बदलाव आएंगे। डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स, ऑटोमेशन और डेटा फ्लोज से भौगोलिक दूरियों का महत्व कम हो जाएगा। डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स, ई कॉमर्स और मार्केट प्लेसेस जब ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़ेंगे तो एक नए प्रकार के इंडस्ट्री और बिजनेस लीडर्स सामने आएंगे।
In his concluding remarks, the Prime Minister said that there is a need to share best practices and policies among BRICS countries. The Prime Minister also had bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the summit with the leaders of China, South Africa, Argentina and Angola. Our correspondent reports that it was Mr. Modi's third meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in last 3 months.
Briefing the media about the meet, Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale said both the leaders expressed satisfaction with the progress made by the two nations to strengthen the bilateral relationship since last two meetings at Wuhan in April and Tsingtao in June this year. Both the leaders agreed to increase communication between two militaries with aim to maintain peace and tranquility in the border areas. He further added that National Security Advisor will visit China this year for special representative talks. In his bilateral meet with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, Prime Minister Modi signed 3 agreements in areas of agriculture, space and setting up of Gandhi Mandela Skill Center in South Africa. Both the leaders jointly released stamps commemorating 125th anniversary of Pietermaritzburg incident and 100th birth anniversary of Nelson Mandela. Saurabh Kumar, Johannesburg, South Africa.
On the final day of the summit today, the BRICS leaders will take part in the BRICS outreach session to take stock of the progress made by them during last 10 years. The centre has asked the CBI to investigate the role of UK-based data mining firm Cambridge Analytica, which is suspected to have illegally obtained data of Indians. Replying to a debate in the Rajya Sabha on a calling attention motion yesterday, Electronics and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said the initial response by Cambridge Analytica was that the data of Indians was not breached.
That Cambridge Analytica may have been involved in illegally obtaining data of Indians which could be misused. The government has entrusted the issue to be investigated by the CBI for possible violation of Information Technology Act 2000 and Indian Penal Code.
Mr. Prasad, however, said the company's response was not in conformity with what was reported by Facebook. He said the government does not regulate content on social network platforms, but they are required to follow due diligence under the Information Technology Act. He said the government is committed to freedom of speech and expression and privacy of its citizens. Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi has hailed the passage of the Trafficking of Persons, Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018 in Lok Sabha. He said, smooth passage of the bill is the evidence of collective moral conscience and political will of the country's leaders who have risen above party lines to protect its people. The bill provides for the prevention, rescue and rehabilitation of trafficked persons and seeks to establish a national anti-trafficking bureau to investigate trafficking cases. Both the Houses of Parliament will not sit today on account of Guru Purnima. This was announced by the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The two houses will meet again on Monday. West Bengal Assembly has passed the Lokayukta Amendment Bill 2018, keeping the Chief Minister out of its purview in matters relating to public order. The bill, however, allows the Lokayukta to investigate into matters relating to the Chief Minister on the other 58 subjects under the state list with the approval of two-thirds of the members of the Assembly present and voting. Meanwhile, the opposition BJP, Congress and CPIM opposed the bill, alleging that efforts were being made to turn the Lokayukta into a farce. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal held a meeting with all deputy commissioners and superintendents of police in Guwahati yesterday ahead of the publication of the National Register of Citizens NRC draft on 30th of this month. He reviewed the law and order situation and the measures being taken to tackle any eventuality. More from our correspondent.
Steps are being taken by the Office of the NRC State Coordinator to publish the final NRC draft on Monday. 1.9 crore people were included in the first draft of the NRC. Over 50,000 government employees are engaged in the NRC updation process. The final draft will be available online as well as at NRC Seva Kendras. The NRC is being updated in Assam to detect the illegal migrants. Those names that are not included in the final draft will get opportunity for claims and objections. With Manas Pratim Sharma's report from Guwahati, Gulshan Rawat, AIR News, Delhi.
DMK President M. Karunanidhi is suffering from ill health. The leader is being provided medical treatment for urinary tract infection and fever at his home in Gopalapuram. A team of doctors and nurses are at his house, giving him medical attention and care. Senior ministers from the state and political leaders visited Mr. Karunanidhi at his residence in Chennai and inquired about his health. Maternal mortality rate is one of the significant parameters to rate a country's progress, and India is registering remarkable improvement in this regard. According to the data released by Sample Registration System, the maternal mortality rate in India has declined by 22%. That is, the number of deaths per 1 lakh live births has declined from 167 in 2011-13 to 130 in 2014-16. The Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan is giving impetus to bring this figure further down. Here is a ground report from our Mumbai correspondent.
Launched in November 2016, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan aims to provide free, comprehensive and quality care to pregnant women in their second and third trimester. We spoke to one of the beneficiaries of the scheme, Bindu Moria from Palghar district.
हम लोग यहाँ महीने के हर 9 तारीख को आते हैं और इस अस्पताल में सारी सुविधा मिलती है। मोदी जी ने सारी सुविधाएं देने को व्यवस्था की है। आयरन और कैल्शियम की गोली खाने के लिए भी मिलती है।
He spoke to Dr. Rajendra Chavan, who volunteers at Palghar's Rural Hospital.
इस अभियान के अंतर्गत हम लोग जब से शुरू हुआ है हम यहाँ पे सेवा देते हैं। अनेक माताएं आती है। मेन काम इसका ये है कि माता जच्चा और बच्चा दोनों हो अच्छा, तो हर माताएं आती है और उनको बराबर मालूम है कि 9 तारीख हुआ है, यहाँ पे आ जाना है, स्पेशलिस्ट आएंगे और मुफ्त में जांच होगी।
Thus, the ambitious Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan is on a mission mode to help India achieve the Sustainable Development Goal of maternal mortality rate by the year 2030. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Fugitive businessman Vijay Mallya has lost his attempt to appeal against the UK High Court order in favour of the 13 Indian banks to recover funds amounting to nearly 9,000 crore rupees. The UK's Court of Appeal refused permission to Mallya to appeal against the High Court order dated 8th May, which gave right to Indian banks to enforce the Indian judgment against Mallya's assets in England and Wales. Mallya is separately undergoing an extradition trial in a UK court over fraud and money laundering charges by the Indian authorities. Meanwhile, the government has informed that the process for extradition of Vijay Mallya is progressing as per the India-UK extradition treaty and the matter is currently sub judice. Minister of State for External Affairs V.K. Singh, in a written reply to the Rajya Sabha yesterday, said that a formal extradition request was handed by the ministry to the British High Commission in New Delhi in February 2017. In Pakistan, Imran Khan has claimed victory in the National Assembly elections. In a television address last night, he said his party was successful and was given a mandate. On the other hand, Nawaz Sharif's party, PMLN, and a host of smaller parties have rejected the results, alleging vote rigging and manipulation. However, unofficial results of 215 out of 270 contested seats of the National Assembly have been announced. The Commission is yet to announce the official figure. Voting for the general elections was held on Wednesday. United States says it is looking forward to the 2+2 dialogue with India in New Delhi in September. Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia, Alice Wells, told lawmakers during a congressional hearing that she expects substantial progress will be made in the bilateral relationship during the dialogue. She was responding to a question from Indian-American Congressman Ami Bera. The September meet will be the first 2+2 dialogue between India and the United States. It was announced last year during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with President Donald Trump. It has been rescheduled at least twice since then. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said all Indians are safe in the blast in Beijing, China. In a tweet, Mrs. Swaraj said she was aware of the incident and all Indians are safe. A man set off a small explosive outside the U.S. Embassy in Beijing yesterday, sending smoke into the air and injuring his hand before security officials rushed to the scene and took him into custody. Officials said, apart from the bomber, there were no other injuries reported in the incident. The diplomatic area where the incident took place is on the outskirts of Beijing and home to several embassies, including those of the United States, India and Israel. Government has launched Innovate India platform. This is a citizen-centric platform with a collaboration between Atal Innovation Mission and MyGov. The portal www.innovate.mygov.in will serve as a common point for all the innovations happening across the nation. On this platform, users can view, comment, share and rate the innovations crowdsourced. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to V. Ravi Kumar.
Thank you, Abhishek. Pictures of a triumphant Imran Khan claiming victory in the just concluded parliamentary elections and the story of rain wreaking havoc in Delhi NCR are running as lead stories in virtually all the papers this morning. The Hindustan Times headlines it as Victorious Imran sends peace overture to India, whereas the Asian Age leads with the line Imran Khan to captain Pakistan. It's arcade drainage and not so much of rain that makes Delhi NCR float is how DNA has covered the rain story alongside pictures of waterlogged roads and infrastructure damage. Writing on PM Modi's speech at BRICS Summit, the Hindustan Times says, PM Modi talks trade at BRICS Summit, meet Xi on sidelines. DNA quotes PM in the lead saying, tech tie-ups are must to create better world. Reporting on the government's response to the data misuse by Cambridge Analytica, the Hindustan Times writes, CBI will probe data mining by Analytica. SC pulling up UP government over Taj Mahal maintenance issue is covered by Mail today under the headline, SC to government, you should make a comedy show, while DNA headlines it as, SC, what if UNESCO takes away Taj tag? In a boxed item labelled What's in a Name, the Hindustan Times writes, Bangla switched to take WB up the pecking order. The Hindu says, West Bengal renames itself as Bangla. Two Indians being chosen for the Ramon Magsaysay Award is noted in the Hindu as Magsaysay for Three Idiots Muse, while the Tribune writes Magsaysay for innovators who inspired Three Idiots. And finally, are you among those who don't really apply sunscreen the right way? The Times of India has a report saying you may not be applying sunscreen right, adding that scientists have raised the alarm on misuse of sunscreen, which is placing people at the risk of skin cancer. And with that, it's back to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Ravi. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. BRICS declaration reaffirms the principles of democracy and inclusiveness, agrees to fight unilateralism and protectionism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds bilateral talks with leaders of China, South Africa, Argentina and Angola on sidelines of the BRICS summit. Centre asks CBI to investigate UK-based firm Cambridge Analytica for illegally obtaining data of Indians. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal reviews law and order situation ahead of the publication of National Register of Citizens draft on Monday. UK court rejects Vijay Mallya's attempt to appeal against verdict favouring Indian Bank to recover their funds. And Imran Khan claims victory in Pakistan general elections. Official results yet to be announced. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.